But surely I can't be the only weirdo. I'm sure there's loads of people that do that. Hey guys, it's Amanda. I'm an American living in the UK, so I post about my life and experiences living here, as well as these weekly reactions requested by all of you. Today's video is about the differences between living in the US and the UK. And I always really enjoy these videos, having lived in both countries for many years. It's fun to see or hear what other people think. Now, I will be shocked if the size of houses and maybe even the gardens aren't mentioned in the video somewhere. But what do you think is one of the major differences between living in the US and UK? Let me know in the comments.
In the UK, we do not have AC.
Don't know anyone in the States that has this. If you had this in the States, I would think you're super fancy.
The aircon, I think even if we had it like in my house in the UK, we would never use it.
No, definitely would.
Hello. Hi, I'm Lauren from the UK.
Hi, I'm Callie from the USA.
We have a lot of fences.
Not everyone in the States has a fence.
You guys have attic, right?
Sometimes. Not everyone, but some people do. They have the like pull down thing with the ladder.
Garage. Some houses just don't have them.
Really?
Yeah.
What if when the weather is bad?
Your car just gets wet or
People in the States, you almost always have a garage. Some people have 2 or 3 car garages, which is crazy. People will also turn that into a fun space sometimes. My family, they have a nice garage, like a 2-car garage. They do park their car in there in the winter, but they also have room for like dartboard and a little bar. They keep it heated so we can go out there and party a bit.
Do you guys have conservatory? Conservatory.
Something that I actually learned about garages here in the UK, which when I first heard it, I was like, what? It was a bit odd. But many Brits don't actually put their cars in their garage if they have one. I know, mental. They usually use for like storage, if they don't have like the space inside the house. But then I suppose the weather usually isn't that bad, is it? So your car really doesn't need to be out of the elements, as it does in the US, where loads of snow and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, obviously if you're British, you know that. But if you're not, I hope you learned something new.
What is that? It sounds like, is that like a greenhouse thing?
It's like a greenhouse, but it's in your house.
Okay.
So it's like usually attached to the living room and it's like a greenhouse. But usually people will use it as a place to just kind of sit.
That's on people's houses?
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. Whoa, is that common?
So this is super common actually.
Whoa! Yeah. Don't know anyone in the States that has this. I feel like if you had this in the States, I would think you're super fancy.
Really? Most people just use it as like a place to sit and gather. It's so cold in the UK. This actually is like warm.
Okay.
So in the summer people will sit and it's also like connected to the garden. So it would also maybe be the way to the garden in most houses. So in the UK, the average house size is 900 square feet.
I'm trying to envision like how big that would be.
It's not huge, but it's not, you know, tiny.
In the US, the average is 1,600 square feet.
Wow.
Larger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like 1.5 times. Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I think, like you said before, we just have so much land. Typical to have larger houses in the States.
And like, I feel like if you envision Texas and all of that land and those gigantic houses, which are so cheap, in my opinion, like, wow. Yeah.
I think the Texas houses are just like another level.
From before, like the semi-detached and the terrace houses would have a living room, a kitchen, 2 or 3 bedrooms, and a bathroom, and maybe a downstairs toilet. I'm thinking back to my university house, And then like the detached houses may have 3 or 4 bedrooms, maybe like 1 or 2 bathrooms, obviously like a larger living room and kitchen. So I don't even know how many rooms that is.
Yeah.
A lot.
I think it's a little bit similar in the States, maybe 3 or 4 bedrooms even. Large living room, Sometimes we have a kitchen in a separate dining room. Do you have that in the UK sometimes?
Yeah, it just depends on the size of the house, honestly.
It varies probably a lot. Same in the States, but I would say it's quite common to have a separate kitchen and a dining room, some kind of utility room where you do your laundry, and then maybe two bathrooms, I would say is common. Nowadays, most people have at least two. Yeah. Some places might still have one. I think two is quite common. Yeah. Maybe one at least with a, 1.5 baths.
Yeah.
We say like one.
Okay.
Yeah, one with the bathtub, one where it's just like the toilet.
We call it a downstairs toilet.
I knew this one was going to be on here. Yeah, I mean, they pretty much already went over it, really. It is just down to space most of the time. But I think here in the UK and in the US, houses vary. Houses vary depending on where you live. So, like where I lived in Pennsylvania in the country, houses were much bigger and cheaper compared to like New York City or California or any big city. It just varies. But there you go. House size. The US is usually bigger.
In the UK, we do not have AC. It
Never?
does not get hot enough, especially not where I live up in the north. It is not hot. I know when we had the heat wave, I was dying.
Yeah.
And I actually was in an attic room back then. In my student days, I was boiling to death, and I had a tiny window. But usually we will just open the window to get a breeze.
What if there's no breeze?
Yeah, if there's no breeze, we have fans, just like the standing kind of fan, and that's it. We just melt, I guess.
Gosh. How long would that last if you have some heat wave?
The heat wave can be 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay.
And growing up, there was never a heat wave really. It's just over the past few years.
Is it common at all in Europe, do you know? I went to Sweden, in Norway, and Finland, and I was shocked by that too, because we went in the middle of summer and we were hot. Even though it's not known for having hot weather, even in public places sometimes, like public transportation, on the subway, we had all of our luggage and we were just sweating.
They don't have it on the London Underground. Usually we just open the kind of window that connects the carts, and then the breeze from the train kind of is what cools people down. It just doesn't really exist.
Really?
Yeah, so I think European people just kind of try to deal with the heat if it is hot.
In the US, I think a lot of people would have in AC. A lot of times it'll just have the unit that you put in the window kind of thing. We also use fans. Every household is different, but I'm sure even in the more southern states, it's even more common. We also have the ceiling fans.
Yeah, those things freak me out. I'm they're gonna fall on my head and crush me.
Yeah, those are kind of scary, but they do help keep the house ventilated, so that's nice. We'll have the ceiling fans, sometimes some standing fans, and then also the AC. Got the bases covered.
Must be nice.
Yeah, right.
Now, I know people here who do have AC units, but I'm not sure how common they actually are. And that is actually a good question. I never really thought about it. I suppose most European countries really don't use them, do they? Is it just America? But honestly, I don't think I would have survived that last heat wave without our air conditioner, especially at night. Because I'm one of those people that use a fan year round. So even in the winter, it's cold, I know, but I cannot sleep without the noise. So I'll use my duvet and some extra blankets. And yeah, that is how I sleep. But surely I can't be the only weirdo. I'm sure there's loads of people that do that. But anyway, I got a bit off top of there. But in the US, pretty much everywhere is air conditioned, from petrol stations to grocery stores. You are covered. But that's just down to the weather and how hot it gets in the States, especially down south. No matter where you go in the South, you will have aircon.
The washing machine in the UK, yeah, it usually looks like the one on the right. Yeah, they're not usually together if we even do have a dryer. I think it's not too common to have a dryer in the UK. I may just be talking from personal experience, but we don't have a dryer at home, like a tumble, we call it a tumble dryer.
Okay.
Mainly for like environmental reasons. And we don't use it, we just hang up our washing on the clothing, like the washing line.
Yeah.
Or we have like one of those kind of looks like a spider's web, like this kind of shape, and then we just hang it and it spins in the breeze.
Like out in your garden or something? Okay.
Because, yeah, the tumble dryers, they're expensive in the UK as well. My uni house had a 2-in-1, but the dryer was not good at all, so I just didn't use it.
Okay. Do you ever hang your stuff inside?
Okay, I would use like a clothing like rack, like a clothes horse sometimes. Obviously, if it rains a lot.
Yeah.
They're good.
It's like a high tech, like
it doesn't spin by itself. It's just like in the wind.
Yeah,
it's good. These dryers, yeah, I'm kind of jealous.
I do kind of love the dryers. I know they're bad for the environment, like you said, but there's something about putting your blankets or your sweaters and your socks in the dryer, and like, oh, it's so cozy in the winter time. It's very common in the U.S. Most people have a washer and a dryer.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Yeah. I don't have the patience maybe to hang everything up
it is quite. If it suddenly starts to rain, which it loves to do in the UK, you have to run outside and then collect everything. Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah, pretty much everyone, not pretty much, everyone that I know in the US has a washer and a dryer. And since living here, I do have a 2-in-1, but to be honest, I only ever use it if I absolutely have to. I love hanging my clothes outside. We have the spinny one, which is obviously the correct name for it. But I love it. It's just, everything just smells so fresh, especially on like a really nice sunny day. I love it. However, in the winter, not so much. The rain, the cold, it takes forever to dry. But having the dryer, putting your socks in your blankets, like she said, honestly, there is just something so cozy and lovely about that. It just makes me so happy. So on those occasions, I do use it.
So the plug sockets in the UK are the 3-pronged. Is it called a prong? I don't know. A 3-pronged socket. Usually like 230 volts.
Okay.
I am pretty sure majority, if not all of them, have a switch, like to actually turn on the plug.
What?
Yeah, so they're not just like open, they have like an actual switch.
Every outlet?
I'm like thinking, and I'm pretty sure all of them did.
That's so convenient. I love that. Yeah, we have a 3-prong also, but you can tell it's a different kind. I've never seen anybody with the switch.
And also, is it always like 2 outlets in one?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen just a single one like that. It's always the double.
And it's always vertical?
Yeah.
We have like either one, or if we have 2, they're usually side by side like this, rather than like this.
Oh, okay.
Most people just use extension cables. Yeah. Today was interesting.
Yeah.
I will say that's going to sound so lame, but that is probably one of my favorite things about the houses here. Why the US is not going to board that, I do not know. Put a switch on, not only for safety reasons with children, or, you always hear like the crazy stories about the kids like shoving forks and stuff in there or whatever and getting electrocuted, but also to save money. Like they said, most people keep their chargers plugged in all the time. So it's great to just be able to switch it off when you're not using it.
We do have a lot of differences like in the house.
I know. A lot of things I didn't think about. I guess the switch one was kind of, I really like that.
Yeah. It's good actually being able to just like switch it on and off from the wall.
So I feel like in the States a lot of people just keep their stuff plugged in constantly, right? So I kind of like that you can just like switch it off. That's quite nice.
The aircon, I think even if we had it like in my house in the UK, we would never use it because we just have like so many windows and doors, and usually it's fine. And right now in the UK, I live like in the Midlands and it does not get hot. Yeah, maybe during that heat wave it would have been fantastic, but I mean, I dealt with it and I survived. So today we talked about differences in UK and US houses.
houses. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. We'll see you next time. Bye!
They had some good points. There are so many differences in the houses in both countries. A lot of homes here in the UK don't have basements or attics. Not saying all of them, just some of them don't. And they're quite popular in the US. Most houses usually have one or the other, and some have both. But another big difference is actually the windows. Here in the UK, in my experience anyway, you can open the window just like a tiny bit, and there's like a lock. So you can have it open to have the air circulating, but it's still like locked so people can't get in or anything like that. Whereas in the US, we have like these mesh screens on like the windows, and sometimes you actually can even get them for the doors. So you can have the windows open or the doors open, but it keeps bugs and things like that from getting inside your house, which is nice. But I know there are so many other ones, so let me know in the comments what you would add to the list. And as always, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, smash that like button if that's what you're into, and I'll see you in the next video. Aphrodite, then discuss, her rapper, messy colors,